Coming up tonight on YCN News, Governor Maggie Hassan expresses concern over the budget. Boston gets a taste of Vermont produce. And smoothing out Claremont's roads could lead to a more prosperous city. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN News, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening. It's Friday, June 5th. I'm Abby Peel, and welcome to YCN News. Moments yesterday after the Senate Finance Committee passed its $11 billion budget, Governor Maggie Hassan released a statement acknowledging disagreement across party lines. While recognizing the budget's improvement over the House version, Hassan says both parties need to come together and make sure that the budget's plan is fiscally responsible and keeps the state's economy moving in the right direction. In her press release, she expressed serious concern that the Senate's plan is unbalanced and will negatively affect both families and businesses' growth while taking the economy backwards. Acknowledging that any budget that stems only from the votes of one political party, Hassan calls for unity and bipartisan progress. Harlow Farm in Westminster, Vermont will sell its products in the new retail market opening soon in Boston. The Boston Public Market is a year-long venture that opens a new opportunity for dozens of Vermont businesses to establish a presence in the Boston metro area. Vermont's new retail stand in the market is named Harlow's Vermont Farm Stand and is a crucial first step in utilizing the state's new domestic export program, according to the Vermont State website. The program is designed to connect Vermont agricultural producers with buyers across New England and the nation. Part of a public-private partnership, the Harlow Farm Stand manages its own daily operations of the retail stand and supplied from products from its main farm in Vermont, as well as many other farms across the state. Harlow Farm joins 35 established vendors at the market, including others from Vermont. Improving the condition of roads in Claremont may take center stage at the next several city council meetings now that the council has approved a $16 million budget. Improving the surface condition of roads could lead to more economic development in Claremont, says several councilors and city leaders. Count in Valley Regional Hospital CEO Peter Wright among the list of supporters for the $250,000 included in the fiscal year 2016 budget to help encourage business growth in the city. Councilors may look into bonding or borrowing money over a period of time to repair and upgrade the city's streets. Heating one's home or apartment in the cold weather months can be a financial struggle. U.S. Senators from New Hampshire Kelly Ayotte and Jeanne Shaheen say in a news release that help is available for qualifying applicants. Federal money that trickles down to states for the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHEAP, will be available. Ayotte and Shaheen continue to support in Congress funding for LIHEAP, along with other Republicans and Democrats. The total sought for fiscal year 2016 is $4.7 billion. Today, per Ayotte and Shaheen, nearly $266,000 was set aside for LIHEAP. That sum is in addition to over $25 million that both senators secured last year for this program. For low-income residents and families and senior citizens, LIHEAP funding helps pay home heating costs. Coming up on YCN News, an invitation to our local heroes to fight cancer. The Mount Sunapee expansion project gets public feedback, and grab your fishing pole. Tomorrow is a free fishing derby in New Hampshire. More news, sports, and the weekend forecast when YCN News returns.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Abby Peel. An invitation is being extended to all members of fire departments, police departments, emergency medical services, active military, and veterans in Windsor County to walk in this year's Relay for Life. The relay is sponsored by the American Cancer Society every year in locations across the nation, and this year they would like to thank local heroes in Windsor County. Members of the previously mentioned groups are asked to walk the local heroes lap at the event being held on Saturday, June 27th. The event is at the Riverside Middle School in Springfield, Vermont, and begins at 6 p.m. with the local heroes lap at 7. Those interested are asked to attend in uniform to be recognized. More information about the event can be found at relayforlife.org/WindsorVT. Now to a story we've been following very closely. The proposed Mount Sunapee expansion project saw the end of public comment period today at 4 p.m. The Mount Sunapee Resort has been looking to expand its skiing area for almost 20 years, and the expansion would include a new lift, lodge, and 4 trails. Opponents of the expansion have rallied and made their voices heard as part of the public comment period. One such group, Friends of Mount Sunapee, has gathered around 2,000 signatures against the expansion, using their website and Facebook page to give supporters a forum to speak against the resort's plan. The group argues that the expansion would cut into public land for private capital interest and would have a large environmental impact. The project has been tentatively approved by the Department of Resources and Economic Development Commissioner Jeffrey Rose, but it is pending feedback from the public comment process as well as some modifications. If approved formally, the project would cost around $14 million and would be completed by 2018. If you would like to learn more about the expansion, YCN has the full May 5th Mount Sunapee hearing on our YouTube channel. Call up your family and friends. Tomorrow, June 6th, is free fishing day throughout the entire state of New Hampshire. For one day, there are no limits on where you can fish, and you do not need a license to do so. Both residents of New Hampshire and residents from other states are allowed to participate. However, all other current fishing regulations must be followed, such as big limits. For full details, be sure to check the website shown at the bottom of your screen. November 1st is the next date for open enrollment for New Hampshire residents looking to buy medical and dental care through the state's health care marketplace. To help residents make the best choice, an information session later this month in West Lebanon will be held. For 2016, 5 insurance companies will offer plans. The companies are Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, Amber Better from New Hampshire, Healthy Families Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare of New England, Minuteman Health, and lastly, Community Health Options. On Thursday, June 25th, a free and public session on all available health plans offered by those 5 companies will be held from 1:30 to 3 p.m. at the Kilton Library Community Room. The Kilton Library is located at 80 Main Street, West Lebanon. Members of the New Hampshire Insurance Department will make the presentation. To reserve a seat, email Insurance Department Communications Director Danielle Barrick at the email address shown below on the screen, or call 603-271-7973. Kearsarge Chronicles' Lynn Solomon sat down with artist Margaret Dwyer. A new way to create a portrait is the focus of their talk. We'll have that interview when YCN News returns.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Mike Pizzone. It looks like we've got the last of the rain out of the way before what looks to be a nice warm weekend coming up. Temperatures will fall to a low of 55 tonight with mostly cloudy skies and calming winds. Skies will clear up in time for the morning hours tomorrow, making for a mostly sunny day with a high of 72 degrees before bottoming out at about 43 tomorrow evening. Things get even better Sunday with clear sunny skies and a high of 74 degrees. Clouds will begin to increase Sunday evening though, with a low of about 50 degrees. Now let's take a look at our community calendar to see what's happening over the weekend. Claremont's annual Alumni Parade, featuring alumni from both Stevens and St. Mary's High School, will begin tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Broad Street Park will be filled with vendors and activities both before and after the parade. The Windsor Farmers Market will be held tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the State Street Green in Windsor, Vermont. The market will feature local vendors from throughout the region, as well as live music and activity for kids. The Bellows Falls Senior Center will hold its annual Jamboree on Sunday from noon to 5 p.m. at the Bellows Falls Moose Family Center on Westminster Street. The Jamboree will feature live music, raffles, food, and much more. Admission is $5 per person. The defending Division IV champs were dealt a tough draw in the first round with a matchup against a Newt team it split a pair of one-run games with during the regular season. But the Sunapee baseball team came up big when it mattered most, advancing back to the quarterfinals behind a late-game rally.
The 13th-seeded Rams jumped out to a quick lead behind a pair of first-inning runs, but 4th-ranked Sunapee responded with single tallies in each of its first two at-bats to knot things up at 2-2. Neither team scored again until the home half of the fourth, when junior pitcher Ben Robinson helped his cause from the plate with this RBI single to drive in what proved to be the game-winning run. The Lakers weren't done yet, though, as Cole Cruz's single to left here plated Mike Platt to up the lead to 4-2, before Will Austin's RBI single scored Robinson to put the home team ahead by 3. Cruz led the Lakers with 4 hits in the contest, worth a pair of RBI. Newt had his chances to respond, but stranded at least one base runner in each of the final 3 innings thanks to some strong defensive play by Sunapee. Robinson did his part to keep opposing hitters off balance as well, allowing just 2 runs on 6 hits and a pair of walks while striking out 7. I spoke with Robinson after the game, who touched on his ability to get stronger as the game went on, and his team's respect for an opponent that handed them one of 4 regular season losses.
I've really kind of had to adjust. First inning is more see where they're at, I guess. They kind of hit my fastball quite a bit, so I had to adjust there really. Went more off-speed pitches, be more efficient with my pitches in general, really. But yeah, a lot of props to them. They're a great hitting team, so I had to adjust my game plan to them, which I haven't really had to do too much. So that was kind of something to overcome. But yeah, I have to warm up more so, I guess, because I feel I do get stronger as the game goes on. Well, our first game, that was, I want to say, our first loss of the season, and we knew that they were a solid team, but they really came out strong in all areas. Really good hitting, really great pitching. So that was kind of an eye-opener to us. Second game, we saw the same exact thing. Luckily, we were a little more prepared. We came out on top, which was nice. So all week we practiced a ton of bunting, a ton of just getting the bat on the ball. That's the name of the game for us because we struggled with that, and as a result, we lost. So we just had to go in trying to get the bat on the ball, make them make some plays.
I also spoke with Sunapee coach Tom Frederick, who echoed Robinson's thoughts on Newt before crediting the way his team recovered from a sloppy defensive start.
The talk this week is that this team, Newt, is really well prepared. Coach does an awesome job with him. He's got 2 good pitchers and some guys who can play the field out there and some decent hitters. So we obviously have some respect for him because we're throwing Ben. We're just not gonna just think that we got an easy rollover, and they're a good team, and we just I was happy with the way we played after the first inning. What was nice about the defense is that in that first inning we had a couple errors from guys, and we've been trying to teach them all year just to kind of forget about them, and sure enough they forgot about them, and Mike made the nice play to get the run down, and then Cole I thought played an awesome game at short, setting his feet, making some great long cross the diamond throws, and they kept their heads even when we were down 2-0, so I was really pleased with that.
The Lakers will be back in action tomorrow when they welcome 5th-ranked Littleton to town for the quarterfinals, with first pitch slated for 4 p.m.
It was a tough day for the rest of our area baseball teams, though, as Lebanon, Hanover, Stevens, Kearsarge, and Newport all saw their seasons come to an end. The 11th-ranked Tigers put up the toughest fight by notching a pair of runs in what ended up being a 3-run loss, while the Raiders, Cardinals, and Cougars were all dealt disappointing shutouts in their season-ending losses. The scene was similar on the softball field, as both Kearsarge and Newport crossed the plate with just a single run in their second-round losses. But on the lacrosse field, both Lebanon and Kearsarge earned trips to the Division III quarterfinals with clutch victories. The 4th-ranked Raiders will travel to play top-seeded Derryfield, and 3rd-ranked Kearsarge will visit 2nd-seeded Laconia. The games will be played tomorrow in Bedford at 2 and 5 p.m. respectively. That does it for YCN Sports. I'm Mike Pizzone.
Thanks, Mike. Coming up next, it's time for a Week in Review, featuring YCN's Capital Connections host, John O'Connor, when YCN News continues.
The YCN News continues in a moment.